Have you ever thought to yourself, what makes the difference in people's lives? What makes the difference between one person that really applies a certain strategy and thrive and succeed, and another one that seems to be hitting against the rock all the time? What is the difference in people's life? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Because if you ask yourself that question, you realize that what makes the difference is in the patterns of how we think. Is how we think, is in our thinking. Is not how you were born. Is not where you were born. Is not who is your father, who is not your father. Is not who you got married to, or how you got married, or how you never got married. That's just a story. It's about your thinking patterns. Now, the mind is interesting. The human mind, and understanding the human mind has been so thrilling for me. It's mind blowing because this is the core difference in people's lives. Einstein, one of the greatest thinkers of uh, history, said that you cannot create a new life from the same old way of thinking. It's not possible. You cannot create a new life from the old patterns of thinking. Now, what does this mean? The life you're living today, my friend, when you look at your life, when you look at the people around you, when you look at those who surround you, when you look at your money financial situation, look at, you know, your emotional mastery, the quality of your thinking patterns has created the life you see right now. If you want to change, if you want to change your life, if you want to bring about lasting change, there must be a shift in the way you think. Otherwise, if the way you're thinking now is the way you've always thought, is the way you thought last year, last month, and last week, and yesterday, then there's no change. There's no change that you can trust. There's no lasting change. Because lasting change is not just changing behavior. See, behavior you change today, tomorrow, you're back. Because you've not changed the core. The core is your thinking. If you change the patterns of your thinking, if you can slow down enough to notice, notice the patterns of your thinking, your breakthrough is just around the corner. As long as you can be humble enough to see that the kind of thinking you've employed will not give you the result you want, and change is yours for the taking. But if you pretend to be blind and all you do is copy other people's behavior, but keep the patterns the same, your patterns of thinking, your patterns of thought the same, nothing, my friend, is gonna change. You change for a month. Do you know why people don't change for a long time? You know, you change for a month and then you go back. It's because you change behavior, not the root cause of the behavior. Because your behavior, you're behaving the way you're behaving because the behavior is coming from your thinking patterns. These are base, these are source. Your behavior is coming from your thinking patterns. So stop hating on yourself. Stop, putting yourself down and thinking you're the worst person. It's not about you. No, it's about your thinking patterns. In fact, I never ask people to change. I ask people to change their patterns. Because if you change your patterns, you change your life, my friend. You change your life. What are your patterns of thought? What are your patterns of thinking? The quality of your thoughts determine the quality of your life. Research has been done on thinking, and for the last 15 years, my life has been about research and really doing research on people, behavior, and impact of behavior change. Right now, I am in Dar es Salaam um, doing behavior change for corporates, for leaders, for the staff, because people realize their companies are not moving forward, because people are behaving a certain way. And they have tried to change the behavior of people not working. And so now they had to get an external help from a coach. Behavior change. But then for me, I'm not that kind of a person that will just come and, transform your behavior. And then after 6 months, you're back again. After 5 months, you're back again to the same patterns of behavior. No, I want to give these people lasting change. So what do? I go deeper to investigate, to study, investigate their patterns. What is really causing this behavior is a certain way and patterns of thinking. Once I do that, I know I've created lasting change. Lasting change is in your behavior. It is in your thought, not in your behavior. Behavior is automatic. You know, you're smoking, you're lying, you're putting yourself down, your standards, all those are coming from your patterns of thought. You change your thinking, you change, you raise your standard, you become a new person. You begin to expect more from yourself. You begin to see the possibilities of greatness coming from you. The same person that failed last year can create amazing, groundbreaking results. You see, as human beings, we're given unlimited potential by God, but your actions is what unleashes that potential. If you don't take action, you'll be buried with your potential. The people that take action are people that have a certain mindset, a certain thought process, a certain way of looking at life, a certain way of seeing life. By the way, can I tell you something? Even what you went through, some of us are wounded, and I understand. I've been wounded, gone through pain. There's no greatness without pain. Without pain, some of us will never discover our purpose. In fact, some of us, your purpose is linked to your pain. Okay? So, when you blame circumstances, what happened is not this. What happened is not really what the intention of God, the intention of life is not to punish you. What happened is not what has impacted you the most. Let me be honest here. What has impacted you the most is the mindset, your perspective of what happened. Because the same things happens to 2 people, 10 people. Some of us are saying economy is not working, things are not working. No, come on. This economy is for all of us. Someone is saying, I don't have the money. Hello. The lack of resources is happening for all of us as a nation, as a continent of Africa. We are not seeing how we can be resourceful. We are electing people in office that don't think. We are electing people without brains. People don't think because we are not thinking ourselves. Handouts, we're not thinking. If you can elect people in this continent, because it's not a lack of resources, it's a lack of resourceful leaders. And what makes you resourceful? Thinking. What is thinking? My definition of thinking is questions. Thinking equals questions. The quality of your thinking is the quality of your questions. So if you elect a leader whose question is, how can I make this the time of looting? How can I make this the most beneficial time to me? If that's the question they're asking. And you can watch the behavior tells you they are thinking. Behavior serves to show you the person's thinking. What is your primary question in life? Then you can tell what is your thinking patterns. To some of us, the primary question is, how can I prove to everyone that I'm worthy? I mean, hello, do you have that time? I got no time for that. I have no time to prove nothing to anyone. You're not here to prove nothing to anyone. There's no time for that, man. Purpose is calling so much. We don't have time. I have no time to please you. I have no time to please anyone. But if you change the quality of your questions, you change the quality. And all of us have this internal primary question that is the question that is driving our lives. And that's what I help you to discover as my client. Because if your primary question is, how can I enjoy this moment? How can I make this moment count? Some of you, you're turning 40, 30, 26, no mission, no purpose, moving from one relationship to another with whoever is available, because you don't think, you're not thinking. You have the opportunity, but you're not thinking. Let's begin to think, guys. There's no one that was given a better brain than the other, but some of us don't use it. We're given equal potential, unlimited potential. But the way we take action, that's your decision. And I'll leave it there. Take action. I'll leave a link below. If you want to connect with me, shift your thinking, please connect with me. I'm looking forward to help you unleash